Oh,
Yes,
yes,
we
yes,
are.
yes, 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 yes.
Woo!
Lord have mercy.
We're being overtaken by Christmas and other things.
Yes, other things is the key. Other things is the key
Other
word. And we're going to be very careful with our words, because here's the crazy thing is you still can't talk freely about certain things. You can now talk freely to some extent about COVID and the wah and all that is what we call the vaccine. But you can't talk that much about this religion of peace that is known as Islam. The Islamic faith, okay? And it is back in the news. In fact, it's everywhere.
Right.
And it is, I remember back when AIDS first came on the scene.
Ooh.
And one of the things that we talked about in our church and privately to each other is that it was the first disease that had civil rights.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, if you'll remember back when, if you went to the doctor and you had a test for HIV and you were found positive, your doctor was not permitted to share that with anyone, including your spouse.
Yeah.
And so we talked about the fact that it had its own civil rights. And it's interesting to me that when you talk about religions, the two most persecuted religions in the world are Christian faith, which is the largest religion in the world,
right,
and the Jewish faith, which is one of the smallest in the world. And it continues to be persecuted. Now, we're going to talk about what happened to Rob Reiner and his wife, and the tragedy that was horrible that broke last night, that their son apparently killed them both through a knife attack, and supposedly tied to drug addiction and mental health. But we also know there was demonic spirits involved there that would cause somebody to do something like that. But what is in the news more than ever, and we're going to break it down systematically tonight, is what happened in Australia and what happened at Brown University and different places. In fact, that's not the only place that mass shootings happened yesterday. There was multiple places all around the world. And many of them are tied to, you don't get it that much. That's what I'm talking about, civil rights. Yeah. And you can say certain things, you can't say certain things. A lot of these things are tied to anti-Semitism, and there's even rumors that that was even in play at the Brown University. So it's like there is a ramping up, but I'm also going to show you there's a ramping up against attacks against Christianity globally, not just in the African countries, but now in India and other places around the world. And I'm not saying at all that there's not attacks against the Muslim faith as well, because I know they are. But what we want to talk about tonight, and we're going to be as respectful as we possibly can.
Always.
But we're going to address this subject that it's a religion of peace. We're going to address it. And we're going to even go there and address the fact that, oh man, is it even a religion? In the sense of the purest form of religion, because many people that are former Muslims and even current Muslims that are not as radical are saying, look, it's more of a political movement than it is a religious movement. And I understand this. It's not safe to say what I've said already. And that's, we're supposed to have freedom of speech, but it doesn't feel really like I've got freedom of speech right now. I feel like I'm having to step all over my words.
Exactly. Well said.
Okay.
Well said.
I thought you was about to go deep on
No,
me.
I couldn't have put that better myself. Here we are in America, the supposed freest country in the world, where we supposedly have freedom of speech, and yet we're trying to choose all of our words very carefully.
Why? Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to do that? But we do. But we call our show The Big Picture because we're going to get on here and talk about what we feel to talk about, and we'll see where it goes. We'll just see what happens, okay?
Very good.
All right, so before we do that, we do need to cover this. It is a tragedy what happened, regardless of how you feel about him politically and the things that he said about conservatives, especially Donald Trump. He definitely hated Donald Trump, and I'm going to address straight on how Donald Trump addressed this, which I'm going to basically rebuke the president. Okay, so I'm sure he's listening. The White House is listening. Rob Reiner's son, Nick, has been arrested for a felony charge with a $4 million bail for the death of both of his parents. Following the murder of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, the couple's son, 32-year-old Nick, has been arrested for an unnamed felony and is being held on a $4 million bail. Hollywood legend Rob Reiner, 78, and Michelle, 68, his wife of 36 years, were found murdered in their Brentwood, California home Sunday afternoon. Early reports said that they had been stabbed to death. Later reports claimed the couple had their throats. Can I say that without getting flagged? From the beginning, unverified reports said the couple was discovered by one of Reiner's grown daughters, who told police to focus on a family member who, quote, should be a suspect because she considered this person dangerous. People magazine reported Sunday that the primary person of interest was their son, Nick, a man with a history of substance abuse problems reaching back to his mid-teens. In 2016, Rob Reiner directed Being Charlie, a feature film co-written by Nick that told the story of a drug addict in a strained relationship with his famous father. According to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department records, Nick was taken into custody and is being held on a $4 million bail. People magazine reported Sheriff's Department records online noted he is charged with felony, but would not specify further. So, this happened late last night, and I woke you up. You'd already fell asleep in a typical fashion on the couch.
Hey,
and you
come on! It was Sunday night.
Yeah,
okay,
I know.
Already had a humongous day at church. Obviously, got up super early yesterday. Rushed home, cleaned up the house for a Ragland family Christmas.
Me and my brother.
And when that was over, I was done. Stick a fork in me.
I was pretty much done too.
So of course I'm going to fall asleep on the couch.
But you briefly woke up, and I was standing in front of the TV, and it just happened. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I said, "You're not going to believe what happened." And I told you, and we just like, "What?"
Just shocked.
And at that time, we didn't know it was the sun. We just knew that something had happened. It's a tragedy. Now, some of you are going to push back and say that you agree with Donald Trump, how he handled it. And, let me just address what happened. So President Donald Trump made it clear his feelings at the tragic death of actor-director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, who were found in their Brentwood mansion Sunday with wounds that reportedly consisted with a knife. So let's just read directly what he said on Truth Social. And he said, a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Now, you're going to have your opportunity to say what you want to say, but I'm going to openly say that needs to be rebuked, because I know that Rob Reiner and I probably agree on less than 1% of things. He was an anti-conservative. He was not just anti-Trump. He was anti-strong Christian values. He was anti-traditional family.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on and on and on. Okay. He's meathead. Okay. But he was a famous director who gave us a lot of tremendous, great movies. But guess what? That doesn't matter. The right complained, rightfully so, about the disgusting things that were said after Charlie Kirk's assassination. And to me, you can't have it both ways. And I think that if Donald Trump wanted, and y'all can get mad at him if you want to. I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be myself here. Donald Trump could have said, he and I did not agree on anything. I know he hated me, but I'm sorry to hear this. But this whole Trump derangement syndrome, and that he probably was killed because he drove so many people crazy for his hatred that he had there, I thought that was too far. And I think it's actually wrong. And you can disagree if you want to. That doesn't stop me from supporting the president. And some of you don't even like the fact that I support the president. But it is what it is. I support his policies. For the most part, many things I disagree with.
Sure. But
I felt like that was a missed opportunity to show some class.
Yeah. let's show some class. I mean, people are going to do what they do. Obviously, people love the president. People hate the president. There's a few that are in the middle. But when people die, and especially when they die in a tragic way,
that's correct.
like, I mean, first of all, let me just say this. It was horrible. It is horrible. What a mess. And I don't think we need to pile on when something is as horrible as this.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to pile on Donald Trump either, but even at the memorial, you know, remember he followed Erica Kirk, who had just said, I forgive everybody that's involved. And he's like, you know, I don't forgive. I hate my enemies. And
he did.
And it's like, and then he made it about his announcement that he was going to have about the vaccine. And it's like, here's the thing, Donald Trump, you're doing a lot of great things, but let me tell you something. This is what I live by, and I preached at my church for over 30 years. There's two sure things in life. One, there is a God, and two, you're not him.
Yeah.
And that applies to presidents, that applies to preachers, that applies to businessmen, billionaires. You can create the biggest AI, make rocket ships, and go to Mars. Mm-hmm. You are not God, and it's not all about you.
No. But let's all harken back. He's got to have a lot of built up anger and frustration. That does not excuse this. But I will say this. We're only now about to enter into year 2. We still have time to finish well and finish strong.
That's right.
And have class. And I hope that happens.
I mean, he began with class and ended with class. So let's just, I mean, obviously he's going to move on. And those that are going to be okay with it's going to be okay with it. Those that are, you know, going to come against him are going to come against him anyway. But I wanted to make sure that this was not going to be brushed over, because some of y'all are going to be like, why don't you say something about Donald Trump? Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to shoot straight here. I'm going to let you know I don't serve anybody but Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Bottom line. Come on, somebody. Hit the like button if you agree.
Word. Before we move on, you know, I sent you that story that Anthony Geary, or sometimes known as Tony Geary, who played Luke.
That's who he's really known as, from Luke and Laura.
And the famous Luke and Laura characters from General Hospital also passed away today at the same age, 78.
I don't know if you're talking about
Montreal. That struck me as weird, but thank you, Mr. Q, for that wonderful super chat.
Yes.
But that just hit me. And here's another thing. So there was a Sally Struthers, and she is the character that played the wife of Mike Stivic, Meathead, on All in the Family.
All in the Family.
She was quoted in an article where someone was interviewing her, and I think she said in the article that he was married to Penny Marshall. Is that true? Or has anyone heard that? Or
Rob Reiner?
Rob Reiner.
He was.
Is that true?
But I think he was. But they've been married for 30-something years.
They've been married for 36 years in the article. But, I mean, man, all these things, it's just weird. Yeah. This has been a weird news cycle the last several days.
It is, but
tragic news cycle.
And we got a lot to cover tonight. But you know what's weird? What's not weird? LarryRagland.com.
That's on point right there.
It's on point, baby. It's not weird at all. This is where you can go and you can be safe knowing you're going to get quality content.
If you want to flex, come on over here.
Come on over here.
Let's go.
And what I want you to do more than anything is I want you to go up to that yellow banner and I want you to click Get Your Free Gift. When you click on Get Your Free Gift, it's going to pop up and you're going to get an opportunity to be on the Burning Generation, get the Burning Generation download, be on the Noah Generation mailing list. And by the way, if you're on there, you got a follow-up email from us today asking you how you enjoyed the book. Reply back and let us know. Now, let's talk about the big thing that is going to intro us into our deep discussion about the religion of peace, Islam, and what is really going on in the world, in the major cities around the world, countries around the world, with immigration, illegal and legal immigration, and what is happening in relation to the religion of peace, Islam. Well, it's back in the news because of the tragedy that happened this week on Bondi, and I've heard it called Bondi, but I think it's Bondi Beach, for their Hanukkah massacre. They were celebrating that. But this is a group called RARE Foundation, and this is a group of former Muslims that are on Jihad Watch, watching and monitoring things that are being said. So I want to play a little bit from this guy here. His name is... You
said these are a group of former Muslims.
Not all, but this is a watch group.
But they watch for things erupting or developing. Is that what you mean?
Right. And this guy here is Jihad Watch director. What is his name? Robert Spencer details the Islamic ideology driving jihadist violence worldwide. So let's watch a little bit of this video and then we'll comment.
This is Vlad with rarefoundation.com. It is December the 14th of 2020. Islamic doctrine and on Islam, Islamic history in the Anglosphere for sure. Robert, thank you so much for being with us here at Rare Foundation today. You know, it's quite an event that happened. But then not that different than what's been happening at Christmas markets for years now. What are your thoughts on this? What does it mean, and what should people take from this?
Well, that's a very important point in itself, lad, that the ideology behind this attack is exactly the same 100%, with no difference whatsoever from the ideology of those who've been attacking the Christmas markets in Europe. Now, a lot of people don't realize that because the targets in Bondi Beach were Jews and the targets at the Christmas markets were Christians. And so they tend to think, oh, these people in Australia, they're angry about Israel and about Gaza and so on. And the people who are attacking the Christmas markets, that's a whole different situation. But actually, there is no reason in the first place for the attacks on the Christmas markets at all, except for the jihad ideology that underlies this attack at Bondi Beach as well. The reason is that people don't get this is because the Israeli defensive war against Hamas has been weaponized in order to bring a lot of people into support for what is an Islamic jihad who otherwise would not have supported it. And somehow these people, when they note that there are attacks on the Christmas markets, never seem to stop and wonder, well, why are they being attacked? It's not as if there's some Christian land that is attacking Muslims or something. I mean, of course, a lot of Muslims would say, the United States is a Christian land and it is carrying out imperialist war in Iraq and Afghanistan, or at least was, and so on. But really, this is getting to be more and more of a stretch. The most obvious answer and the clear tie between the two is that Islam is political, aggressive, and expansionist, as well as violent. And it calls for warfare against and the subjugation of both Jews and Christians. And consequently, Muslims are going to attack Jews and Christians. And they're going to target particular situations where the Jewish and Christian identity is strongest. So on Bondi Beach, they attack a Hanukkah celebration, and in Europe, they attack the Christmas markets.
So, unpack that for us.
Okay, so basically, this is the introduction of our discussion tonight, and this is a guy that is an expert on jihad, and he's saying, that the religious book, the Quran, calls for the very thing that they are doing. Now, if you remember, the statement and the narrative that Islam is a religion of peace, I'm sure it's been said for decades, but it became very prominent shortly after 9/11 because there was this new word that was invented called Islamophobia.
Yeah.
And it was considered to be a rampant thing. Thank you for that super sticker, Vic Loner. It was considered to be and was being promoted as a worldwide issue and a worldwide problem, and that there was violence happening against Muslims. Now, that being said, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. There was a lot of rage that was in place after that, and there was a lot of reactionary things that happened. But I want to simply ask the question tonight without being hateful, and some of you think the very question is hateful, and how sad is it that we can't even ask a question without it being called hate speech for asking a question? But the reality is this. I saw somebody talk about this not long ago, and they said this. They said, how many Muslims are operating in their faith and praying publicly in Christian nations versus how many Christians are praying openly in the public in Muslim nations? It's not even, there's no comparison because it doesn't happen. So the question is, and what this gentleman is saying is that they are simply doing what they have been mandated to do. And that is, it is a political organization. Their goal when they come in a country is never to assimilate.
Mm-mm.
They openly say that the imams teach them we are not. I'm going to show you video tonight.
Yeah.
Where some of the most prominent imams in the world are saying, listen, y'all need to know something. They're saying, we're openly wanting you to know we are never going to assimilate to the countries that we go in. We're not there to assimilate. We're there to take
Don't we
over.
have a couple of large cities that are great examples of that?
Dearborn, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Minneapolis is right behind them. So what is your commentary on this before we get, if you don't want to talk about it yet, that's fine. But, and I want to know in the live chat without being hateful.
No.
But the reality is this, I'm asking the question, how did we get here to where you can't even question what we know and we hear them telling us? When people tell you who they are, you're supposed to believe them.
Yeah. Well, obviously there's a lot of opinion molding that has been going on for a very long time. And I agree with you. We don't have to be mean or hateful in our conversation and comments about this topic, but it is a very real thing. Look at some of our large cities. We have a city on each coast that have, is it the mayor on the West Coast, or is it just, we know it's the mayor, Mamdani in New York that has just been elected.
Yes.
Is it Seattle? What city is it on the West Coast that just elected? Did they not just elect a Muslim
I don't know.
mayor or some official? But not only are we talking about, we feel
London.
Of course, London. We are stepping lightly.
Yeah.
And we're keeping some comments to ourselves in our country concerning Muslims and the faith. But we have cities that are now adopting officials.
Sharia law.
Government officials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, New York City, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So
and the things that are happening with
foothold's being established.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And let's go back to the previous administration. Okay. And let's talk about the border. I mean, you remember the guy, and I don't have a video of him, but we showed the video when he came across. He's like, you do not know who I am, but very soon this country is going to know who I am and people like us. And this was standing right inside Texas, inside the border. Yes. Well, look at this. 18,000 known or suspected terrorists entered the United States under Biden intelligence warrants.
That's all.
That's what they're admitting.
That's what they're admitting to.
These are owned lists. Known or suspected actual terrorists came across the Mexico-United States border under Biden.
So did we fully identify these people when they entered the country? Thank you for that super chat, Kang Lon.
All right, so let's read this. Let's read this. U.S. intelligence officials are raising alarms after new disclosures reveal that approximately 18,000 known or suspected terrorists entered the United States during the Biden administration. In a televised interview, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said the National Counterterrorism Center identified individuals who under normal circumstances would have been barred from entry due to ties to ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the Afghan Taliban. The figure, she noted, represents a severe national security failure driven by lax vetting and open border policies. Gabbard also revealed that about 2,000 of those flagged cases were Afghan migrants admitted after the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and with whistleblowers alleging they were pressured to rush or bypass standard screening procedures. Former FBI Director Christopher Wray had previously warned Congress about terrorist-linked smuggling networks exploiting the southern border. These are not abstract risks, Gabbard said, pointing to recent arrest of ISIS-linked individuals inside the U.S. in violent attacks with deadly consequences. The warning signs were there every step of the way.
Oh, man. It's just like punching me in the chest every step of the way. Wow.
Yeah, but it's true.
It's true.
We talked about it. What does that mean? That means that there are this is not fear-mongering, there are sleeper cells
Oh my goodness. How many
Holocaust.
times have we talked about sleeper cells
Yeah.
just waiting to be, what is the word? Enacted or to receive activated.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. And okay, so 18,000 known terrorists?
No.
Known. Okay, yeah. How many are not known?
Oh, yeah.
That are really hardcore actual terrorists or
believe the philosophy, the theology.
Yes, that's it right there.
That buy into it. Well, yeah, like I said, this is going to be a difficult night, but we've got to cover it. We've got a lot of people on here tonight because they're interested in it too.
Oh, sure.
They want a place where they can come and find their tribe that is not racist.
No.
We're not bigoted. We're not Islamophobic.
No.
I'm not.
We're not
against any other religion.
We're not screaming hatred.
No.
None of that. Nor do any of our comments, we want them to sound mean or hateful.
But the rhetoric is out of control.
We need to talk about this in a safe place.
It needs to be tamped down.
Yeah.
And it needs to be tamped down from both parties, from the president, from the people that hate the president. I mean, it's like we done moved on from the fact that just within a year's time, we have seen the attempted assassination of a candidate for president.
Yeah.
And a president. One shot him in the ear. One was stopped before he could be shot. We have seen the public assassination of a political figure that people had ramped up hatred towards. Now we see multiple killings.
Are you talking about Charlie Kirk?
Charlie Kirk.
I think, would it not be more correct to just call him a religious?
Religious, you're right.
Religious
I would say that.
Figure leader?
Yeah. Now, there's people that disagree with this.
I know.
I got a lot of pastors that I know that disagree with that.
Certainly, he, was at many Trump functions, rallies, whatever. I get it. But I feel like it's more accurate to call him a religious leader.
Yeah, because the bottom line is this: everywhere he went, he talked about Jesus.
Yes.
And part of that talking about Jesus, he stood for traditional family. And he talked about, the trans community is dangerous. It's dangerous in the sense that it is enabling mental things that should be treated mentally, and if you believe spiritually, maybe even some deliverance involved, but whatever. But the reality is this, and I know some of you are going to think, well, I thought you weren't hateful. That sounds very hateful to me. Well, here's the problem. You've been programmed. If you're watching that, and what we're saying already has triggered you so much that you had to hit a thumbs down, and you're trying to blast in the comments, or you're getting ready and all this kind of stuff. Right. If you think that way, you have been programmed.
Yeah.
The
programming has worked.
Because here's the thing: you can say anything you want to say about Jesus. They mock him in movies and TV shows constantly. Yes. They make him out to be a gay man who's having affairs with all of his apostles on a Netflix show. They have nasty things. They accuse them. They make movies about him that are sacrilegious to the core, saying that he didn't really die, that he had children through Mary Magdalene, and they make billions and billions of dollars. And nobody's rioting in the streets over that. No. And nobody's being killed over that. But you can't even draw the religious leader of the religion that we're talking about.
Yeah.
You can't even draw a picture of him. Or you may have something like this happen to you. But you know what's happening to a lot of Muslims? Jesus is coming to them in the middle of the night and talking to them. And Muslims are being saved all over the world because, it's dangerous for missionaries to even go in there. So Jesus says, but I love them. Jesus loves Muslims. He loves Hindus.
He does.
He loves Buddhists. He loves atheists.
He wants
Jesus
them to
loves
know
the world.
The truth. He wants to speak to them. It is a beautiful thing. We've heard many stories and testimonies, dreams, visions of Jesus appearing to Muslims and showing them love, and they converted. It's hope in the midst of all this darkness.
Absolutely. Ugh. So the question is, why do we continue to be afraid to, as Christians and believers and basically just freedom lovers around the world, Immediately, the press conference. Oh, listen, I know what happened today in Bondi Beach. I know what happened today. It was only Jews were targeted. It was a Hanukkah celebration. But let's be careful before we do anything else. I want to remind everyone that Islam is a religion of peace. We need to know Islam is a religion of peace. This is coming out in the press conferences today, over and over again. It's always, I want to remind you. I think part of it is fear. I think part of it is fear that if they don't say that, they're afraid of what's going to happen. I mean, I ain't afraid, but I'll be honest with you, I got a little thing in my chest right now. I got a little weird thing in my chest right now because I know what I am addressing publicly.
Right.
And that is what I'm trying to say is I don't feel peaceful right now. I don't feel peace talking about what is going on. I don't feel like that this system is giving me the permission to at least critique it. But you can critique Christianity and just dissect it and mock our God, and nothing happens to you. But if you critique this religion, you have this thing beating in your heart going, I got to think about my family. I got to think about my church. I got to think about my career. I got to think about these things. I got to think, and that's where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, just plain spoken, that's it. You know, where are the officials in our country? It's like nobody wants to or has the ability or the strength to stand up and say, okay, stop. We're going to have a serious discussion here about this. We just keep going in that direction with no correction. Nobody wants to disagree or do anything.
Exactly. So I want to show you one other thing, because remember I said they're saying the quiet part out loud.
Yes.
They're getting bold now, and they're saying, we did not come to assimilate. This is right here. I just want to play this little clip here on the PBD podcast. If you didn't get a chance to see this, if you don't follow him, you need to go watch this full podcast, because about the first half of it, they say more than what we're even saying.
This was just today?
This was today. I'm going to show you two clips from the PBD podcast. This is the first one when they're talking about that they're making it very clear. This is a Chicago man giving a press conference at a Muslim synagogue, or whatever they call it, not synagogue. God, forgive me for saying that. That's Jewish. Mosque. And but watch what he says here.
We don't have this aqidah concept firm in our minds that Islam did not come to coexist.
Okay. Good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Islam لا يعلى. الإسلام يعلو ولا يعلى عليه. And Islam is raised high and nothing is raised above Islam. We can't think of Islam that it came to live with these other religions, in the sense that Islam is a religion amongst those religions, and they have a share with the truth. And they have a share of justice. And they have a share of, this worship of Allah, the correct worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam came to correct all of that. Islam came to remove the oppression of all those religions. And it is the only truth, and it is the only way to justice.
The only truth.
Let's point out that the Butterfly Express said Rob Reiner was a Jew, and he was also killed on the first day of Hanukkah. Good observation.
Interesting. So this right here, if you don't watch the PBD podcast, this is Patrick David and his cohorts, and you're gonna get some language, you're gonna get some things like that, but they're not afraid to address some things that are needing to be addressed. I want to continue and show you one other thing. So let's go back and realize that we just heard a main imam there, I believe he's an imam, saying, hey, we didn't come to assimilate. We did not come to coexist with other religions. Let's just hear real quickly their commentary before I go to the next video.
Only truth. It's the only way of justice. And you can continue, Rob. I mean, I can continue. Go to this video. Here's a man.
All right, so this is the next video that I want to show you, which is what he's talking about. This is what you told me that you watched earlier today, where he is trying to warn America and other countries from a Muslim perspective of what is actually coming to their cities and to their country.
I didn't even have the volume on. I was just reading this, the text, the script across the TV, and I was like, we got to show this tonight. Oh, my goodness.
Here we go.
Leader from UAE. Do you have that one, Rob? Who is saying, we told you from...
This is a leader from the United Arab Emirates.
Europe to be careful. Who is saying, we told you from Europe to be careful 7 years ago that this was given. This is not a new one. that was given. Your UAE foreign minister issued a warning to the West. Do you have that one, Rob?
No, I'll find it.
It's in one of the ones in the message that I have in
Probably one
our
of the most
notes
famous
section.
clips talking about
everybody
Islamism.
has
We've
seen
seen
it.
this before. We put this on the podcast.
But this is a warning, West. This is a warning, Rob. I just texted it to you. This is a warning right there. Okay, right there. See how long it is? If it's the shorter one,
45
Perfect.
seconds.
That's the one. Watch this. This is, and by the way, he specifically decides to say it in English, so he's not. You don't have to translate and not even trust the translation by 2%. He says it to you in English. This is UAE's foreign minister. Go ahead, Rob.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
He's giving you the warning.
That's like a
what he's
lifeguard
saying-
going, guys.
There's sharks in the
sharks.
ocean.
So,
And
Tom,
you go like this. You don't know shit.
What do you think should be the solution here, Tom?
Well, I have an idea about the solution.
You can watch his own solution when you go there. But this is the United Arab Emirates saying, we are trying to tell you what is coming.
Yeah. 8 years ago. This was 2017.
And it is happening. We watched it happen
Yes.
in London. Every major city in the United Kingdom is now being led by a Muslim mayor. Every major city. The largest, what is it with London? London is the money capital of the world.
Right.
Is now being run by a Muslim. Now the largest city in the world, New York, is being run by a socialist Muslim, which is weird to me. But he's really a fraud across the board because he supposedly has, at least he's promoting LGBTQ, all this kind of stuff, which is against the Islamic faith. But then you have the things that are happening in some of our major cities.
Yes.
But this is tied to immigration. Look, these people that came across the border, some of these were coming across the border because they wanted a better life. Some are coming across the border, and they don't make it right. By the way, they don't make it right. It's still illegal. But they were coming across the border because they were fleeing persecution. And they filed the correct paperwork, and they got here. But many, 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 if not the super majority of them, were on an agenda. They were being funded. I mean, some of these were coming from countries that had to cross the entire ocean to get here, air flights and all that, and they're coming from poverty. And they somehow make a way to be fed and given water and hydrated to walk all the way across Mexico and into our borders and then disappear. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not trying to scare you to death, but we are trying to wake you up to what is coming.
We're saying things that we've said many times before, but just going maybe a couple of steps farther. We've talked about the invasion at the border and people coming from all over the world. We've talked about the numbers. We've talked about most of them are fighting age men. And we've even talked about sleeper cells in this country. But this is ramped up to be even more serious than it has been all these previous months. Look at what's happened in just a short period of time with these attacks. It's and becoming very serious.
And I think that when they were coming across the border and they were being funded and they were being there was plans of the sleeper cells being installed and all this. The one monkey wrench that they did not plan on is they did not see Donald Trump coming back. They I'm telling you, they did not see that. They did not have that on their bingo card. So now, because of that, you see what he's done in basically less than a year being in office. This is right at 1 year since he's been elected, but he's only been in office for 11 months. But the reality is this: they're thinking, okay, we've got 2.5, 3 more years of active policy to deal with this man. So that's what we're trying to say. It's ramping. It's ramping up. I believe 2026 is going to be the great dichotomy. It's going to be the convergent year, the beginning of the convergent generation. I've said it on this program over and over again. I believe you're going to see the biggest onslaught of demonic attack and this spirit of darkness rising. But you're also going to see a remnant rising. That's going to be few in number, but it's not hateful, not bigoted, not racist, but sold out to God and unafraid to stand for biblical principles.
Wow. We need it. Remnant needs to rise for sure.
Yeah. So let's watch this right here. And I'm not even going to talk about language. If you get language, it's not my fault. Okay.
If you study Islam, you will see that there's never been a time in history where they came over to a country and they assimilated, where they came over to a country and they decided that, you know what, we need to fit in. So we need to be like these individuals because their country is better than ours. And so we need to start understanding their principles so that we can live a better life and you know, basically fit in. There's never been a time where that's happened. Now, there has been studies that show that Islam has come into countries and come into places and absolutely dominated, absolutely took over the area. They come in and they start to multiply and they start to slowly push their principles to the point where they're able to do that. And even in the UK, they're doing this and they're making it a law. They're making it a law that you cannot speak out against the things that are happening. And that's crazy because if you could actually speak out against the things that are happening, you would see more videos coming out of the UK, but you're not. You're only going to see videos of these individuals that are violently attacking people who are helplessly not able to defend themselves. And so you have to understand that the majority, not all, but the majority of Islamists that are coming to this country do not have the best intentions. There are some good ones. There's always going to be some good ones, right? But we like to praise diversity. We like to praise the fact that you can have gay people and trans people and Hindus and all these different people in one area, and we can all just love each other for who we are and look at things and say, you know what, I may not agree with that, but you know what, you're still cool and I still love you because this is America where we can be free. But sometimes you have to recognize the fact that if you let in a snake, no matter what, that snake is poisonous. And it's going to fucking bite you. And it's going to bite you over and over again. No matter how good you treat it, it's going to bite you. And I hate to say that because it's not about all of them, but it's a very, very big majority.
Whoa. Okay. That was very intense.
But it was true.
Right. I mean, a lot of fear is used to keep people in line, and they come over, they get a foothold in cities and areas. They said, we will defeat you through the wombs of our women. So they're having many children.
Well, we're not having, well, the Christians and
don't
Americans
care to have
are not having children.
Whatever. And, you know, their population is growing. And like he said, they have their intentions. They do not plan to assimilate. Yeah. No matter how nice you are, no matter how giving and loving and helpful, they are here with their own agendas. And the agenda does not include assimilate into this country.
I'm looking over here at one of the comments says sleeper cells attacking when most of the population is asleep instead of awake to the reality of what has really been put into place. I think it's a great point, and I've never thought about it, but I'm thinking there's a reason why it's called sleeper cells. It's not because they are being silent. It's that they are cells gathering and mobilizing while we are asleep.
Yes.
While we are asleep. And I'm thinking about when he talked about the snake, I'm thinking about when I've used this analogy in sermons many times about, obviously it's a make-believe story, but the guy that goes to the pet store and he buys this snake, and it's a venomous snake, but they say this is one of the most loving snakes we've ever had. We play with it all the time. It's been domesticated, and it's just going to be a great pet. So he brings the snake home, and the snake can talk, and they just fall in love with each other, and they watch movies together. They have awesome nights together where they just chill out on the couch and watch Netflix and all this kind of stuff. And then, he feeds him, and he grows, he gets bigger, and he's just his best friend. And then one day they're just randomly watching this show, and he just crawls up and he thinks he's going to give him a little kiss on the cheek, and he goes, He just latches into his jugular vein and injects the poison into him. And the man is dying, and he pulls the snake off of him and looks at him, and he's crying. And he's like, why in the world would you do this? I thought you were my best friend. You know, we've been through so much together. And he says, yeah, but I'm a snake. And I'm just doing what a snake does. And you knew that when you brought me in your home.
Right. Pretty much what the guy in the video just said. And if you want an even better example, I think our own president has a great story or poem that he's told multiple times about the snake. He loves that story.
He does love that story. And I'm not going to tell it. You can go find it for yourself.
Go find it. Yeah.
But, you know, I've been talking about the final flood, so I just want to throw out here a shameless plug
Why
here.
not?
Just go and show you the book cover.
Just saying.
My book's coming out around in early spring, and you'll be able to pre-order it pretty soon. It'll be on our website pretty soon. This is the cover, The Final Flood, Ancient Supernatural Technology, Fallen Angels, and taking your place in the Noah generation. Very excited about it. You know what else I'm excited about? I'm excited about being a part of the upcoming L.A. Marzulli.
Look at this.
Oh, it's exciting. It's called The Great UFO Deception, Unmasking the Strong Delusion Summit. And this is from the great L.A. Marzulli, as you can see here. For $20, you get a tremendous amount of speakers.
This is like the deal of the century,
it really
probably.
Is. It really is.
$19.99 for all that you're going to get.
Well, let's watch what you're going to get here. Let's watch a little bit here, and then we'll go right back into the.
It's L.A. Marzulli here. I have a very special announcement. January 16th and 17th, the Great UFO Deception Summit, Unmasking the Strong Delusion. Why are we doing this? Because it's happening. I mean, I've been banging this drum for 30 years, and it is absolutely happening. With the new film, Age of Disclosure, which we've already commented on, but they just keep rolling it out in ways that I've never seen before. The book, Runs of Disclosure, only goes up to run number 17. We're up to run number 25. For $19.99, you have total access to it. We'll also be showing 3 films. So let me just give you an idea who's going to be there. Gary Stearman, Mondo Gonzalez, Karen Wilkinson, Alan DiDio, Tim Alberino, Derek Gilbert, Vicki Joy Emerson, Josh Peck, Larry Ragland, and of course yours truly, L.A. Marzulli. We're also going to be showing...
Larry Ragland's in there.
Babe, I've got to say, I think it's one of my finest achievements in my life was red pilling you. I never imagined that you would even know the name L.A. Marzulli.
Exactly.
Let alone become friends and speak in his conference.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Go get me a cappuccino right now.
Right now. I'll be right back.
I just want to stay for this moment.
And he says that you and his wife are cut out of the same cloth, and one of you is, and he went ahead and named you Thelma, of Thelma and Louise.
He said that I can be Thelma?
He said,
I am Thelma.
Give my love to Thelma. So we're going out there out west with him sometime early next year. We're going to hang out with L.A. in his home.
I'm going to go finally meet Louise.
Yeah, which is otherwise known as Peggy, I think, right?
Peggy.
Yeah, Peggy.
Loving wife,
but
Peggy.
Thelma and Louise, when they get together. But very, very excited about that.
So exciting.
But a little lighthearted in the midst of all this dark stuff. But we got to get right back in.
Kaylin, I missed you yesterday. I don't know if you were there, but I didn't see you. I love you.
All right. Okay.
And everybody, please play for our sweet, sweet girl, Cliffy.
Yeah.
That you see on here sometimes, Clifton Birchfield.
She's one of our leaders.
She's under the weather, not doing well, and we want to lift her up.
Got a lot of folks sick right now.
Yes, we do.
And we pray for everybody. And I looked over a while ago and I saw something, and I think I saw that right, that people are planning on getting in here 30 minutes early now and start praying on Monday nights.
I love it.
I think that's amazing. I'll try my best. Oh, somebody said first time here, Dave. Welcome, Dave. I will return again. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it, man. Because we are a big family here.
Yes, we are.
And we don't always just go dark like this. We cover all kinds of things. You're going to see we still got other things to talk about tonight. Monday night's our show when we just sort of start the week off and just say, hey, look, let's tell you what's going on in the world this week, so get ready for it. And so welcome to all of our new people. Subscribe to our channel. Help us build it. And we got Wednesday night, Thursday nights live every week, and then breaking news when it happens.
So let's just say what you're trying to say. We love that you love us and care for us, but we love that you care for each other.
Absolutely.
And you speak with each other. You pray for each other.
Yes.
And it's just a wonderful thing to have this great community.
It is a family. And we do our holidays together. And let's go ahead and say it right now, and then we get right back in the news. We're going to ring in the new year with y'all.
Yes,
So
we are.
We'll give you more details later, but we got several guests coming on in studio and remotely.
And it's going to be a long show. So get those snacks ready.
Yeah. So
Keep the coffee coming all night.
You're going to have a place. You ain't got to go watch that stuff. It's on regular TV, just right here at the big picture. What time did we say? Did we decide yet?
We're still working on it, but it will be a multi-hour ringing in the New Year's Eve show.
Exactly. All right.
Full of 2026 predictions, by the way.
Absolutely. But it continues. The Jerusalem Post is saying that a gunman fired 20 bullets into a Jewish family's Hanukkah decorated home in California. And this is their blow-ups that they had celebrating Hanukkah. And this is the video from their Ring camera.
So their Ring camera picked that up?
Yes.
Okay.
And that happened, I believe, this week. It says we had just gotten home from eating dinner and saw a car parked a few houses down. The driver of the car verbally accosted us as we entered our house. 3 minutes later, the shooter made a drive past the house, discharged 20 rounds, and shouted "F Jews" before driving away. The family confirmed that the shooter has not been apprehended. Last night's shooting in the home of a Jewish family on Shabbat is another dangerous and despicable act of violence impacting the Jewish community. But look, this is what happens when you have major influencers constantly blaming the Jews for everything.
Yes.
The Jews have a lot of blame, but guess what? So does America. So does every country.
Yes.
And I'm not sitting here saying they're innocent. I'm not sitting here saying they hadn't done anything through the Mossad and all this kind of stuff. But it is on turbo. It is on steroids, and it needs to stop.
It does.
It needs to stop. Not just Christian persecution, Jewish persecution, Muslim persecution. All persecution needs to stop. Okay? Jesus said, look, you can decide what you want to decide. You can serve whoever you want to serve. But I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man gets to the Father but by me. I'm thinking about Joshua. Joshua said, choose you this day, whom will you serve? It's for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. What I'm trying to say is these things like what happened to Donald Trump, what happened to Charlie Kirk, what is happening now in Bondi Beach in Australia. It goes on and on and on. What do you think's going to happen? And guess what? Did you know this? And I know there's a lot of y'all in there that's got problems with Erica Kirk and all this. Can y'all just take a chill pill? All of y'all, just stop it. Just stop it. Because the reality is you don't know what happened. And so Erica Kirk is sitting this week in an interview. And guess who CBS or one of the major, I think it was CBS, gave the microphone to ask a question directly face-to-face to Erica Kirk. The man that asked the last question in Utah to her husband about transgenderism when he was killed. They brought him on. And his question wasn't, I'm sorry for your loss.
Right.
His question was, Erica, will you ask Donald Trump to ramp down his rhetoric, his dangerous rhetoric that is causing violence to happen around the world? Will you take this opportunity to rebuke Donald Trump? That's what you're going to say to Erica Kirk? From the man who asked the question when the shot was fired. The very same man. What do you expect to happen? I don't even care whether you love Candace Owens or you hate Candace Owens. I don't even care. Yes. This is out of control.
It is very contrived. What they have to do to go find this person? And was he there in person or was this like...
He was in person,
right. That's
in
what I'm
the studio.
saying.
She was sitting here and they brought him up to the microphone. He's standing right there. You would think, even if he wanted to say that, where's the decency to say, let me first say how very sorry I am what happened to your husband.
Exactly. No compassion, no interest. Just, yeah. That's what I'm saying. How much time and energy was spent going and finding this person?
Well, he's an influencer.
Bringing him to wherever. I mean, money had to be spent to get him there at the same place she was, the studio, whatever. And all this was contrived to basically create this environment and I want to choose my words here. I want to choose my words. A lot of people, there was a lot of emotion spent over this.
Yes.
The people that loved it and the people that became very angry and upset that something like this would be allowed to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just all of this opinion molding. I mean, we would not even have the phrase orange man bad or hate orange man or whatever if the media was not used to help mold these thoughts and opinions and, help entrench them into the hearts and minds of people that get triggered. They get triggered so easily.
Absolutely. I agree, Linda. It's not going to stop. It's only going to escalate. It is written. I agree.
Yes. And that's why we're talking about this right now.
But here's what I'll say to the big picture family. We know what the grand scale is going to be. The Bible that we believe tells us the condition of the world.
Yes.
But it doesn't say that we have to participate.
No.
It doesn't say that we have to go along with it. It doesn't say that we have to crawl into a fetal position in the corner and go, okay, Lord, come get me. Come get me. No, we have come. And this is not a rebuke against you. That was an excellent point that you made. I'm just saying to everybody and saying it to myself as well. We have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Are we going to be salt and are we going to be light? Are we going to put on the armor of God? Yes. Are we going to take the sword of the Spirit? Are we going to storm the gates of hell and say, get your hands off my kids, get your hands off my family, get your hands off my church.
Yes.
As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I'm about to start preaching up in here.
Amen.
I feel the Holy Ghost. I'm telling you, the devil doesn't like this going out.
No.
And I'm going to say something, and I'm bragging on myself, but we talk about this at our church. We talk about issues at our church. We're not afraid. And I'm not saying we're perfect, but I'm telling you, pastors, encourage your pastors. And if you can't find a pastor, come join the Big Picture Church family. And we want you to have a local church. But the reality is this, you need voices speaking into you, telling you who you are in God, not to cower in fear.
And to help you be aware of what is happening in our lives, in our world. Look, it's okay to talk about this. Quite frankly, I am very motivated to speak to my government officials and say, hey, we got a representative, Katie Britt. She's getting a lot of traction. I think at times she has the ear of the president.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, could you please express our concerns as your constituents?
Yep.
That we feel like we're not heard on this front. Can we please bring this before someone who might have an ability to do something about it?
Absolutely. Well, 5 arrested in Germany for allegedly plotting a Christmas market attack, which happened last year, the year before that.
Yes.
A Christmas market attack, authorities suspect Islamic motive. The attack on Christians and Jews continued to expand during the holiday season, the holy holiday season. The BBC reports that 5 men have been arrested in Germany and are suspected of plotting to drive a vehicle into people at a Christmas market, citing an Islamic motive. Police note that the group was already in the midst of operational planning with a goal of maximum carnage. Although authorities did not say when or where the planned attack was supposed to take place, they believed it to be one in the northeast area of Munich. But that's not it. I got one more. The FBI thwarts anti-ICE pro-Palestinian group accused of planning a New Year's Eve bombing in Los Angeles. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did.
Unbelievable.
Yes,
A leftist extremist group was allegedly building bombs and choosing targets for New Year's Eve terror attacks in Los Angeles. But federal officials have foiled those plans. The subjects self-identified as members of a radical offshoot of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, an extremist group motivated by pro-Palestinian, anti-law enforcement, and anti-government ideology. They were allegedly planning coordinated IED bombing attacks on New Year's Eve, targeting 5 separate locations across Los Angeles. In the days since, FBI New Orleans arrested an additional 5th individual believed to be linked to the radical TILF subgroup, also allegedly planning a separate violent attack. So what are we saying? This is, I forgot what I even had on the thumbnail. I think it was like darkness is accelerating.
Yes, I think that something like that.
Something like that. So what I'm trying to tell you is the darker it gets, the brighter the light shines when you make a decision to shine the light.
Yes, absolutely. And I think where I was going a little bit a few minutes ago is if we've got technology that can supposedly read my mind, why is the G-Man not doing more to stop some of this? If they can use their predicting models and all the surveillance and all the information that they have, I believe some of these attacks ought to be able to be stopped or thwarted. Okay, thank God we stopped this bombing that was trying to take place in Los Angeles. I believe we ought to be stopping more of these attacks.
Absolutely. Just a couple more, and then we'll get into some other types of news. But anti-Christian violence is in India is increasing by more than 500% in a decade. In India, 549 attacks in 2025 and 93% impunity, according to the United Christian Forum. So this is the Hindu faith. And in fact, India, and there's places in India that's more dangerous than many Muslim nations. Between January and September of 25 alone, 549 attacks were recorded, although only 39 led to police investigations. In other words, 93% got away with it. These figures go beyond a mere sociological phenomenon. They manifest the progressive erosion of the rule of law in places where political power tolerates explicitly or tactically a violence inspired by a religious ideology that has become the sole criteria of citizenship. What they're trying to say is it's being inbred in many of these governments that are religious in nature and violent religious in nature are saying, in order to be a good citizen of this country because of Sharia law, whatever, then you got to prove to us that you are militantly against other religions. This is how you prove that you are a good whatever.
This is obviously not good and it is dangerous. It could potentially be very dangerous. You know, people visit all of these countries, whether on business, whether on vacation.
Missions.
Missions.
Yeah, exactly.
How much American money goes into basically all of these countries in one way or another? But
we're the great Satan.
We're the great Satan. We're moving on soon, aren't we? I'm almost to my toleration level. I don't know how much more I can do.
You can't leave, Sandy. You got to be all in.
Sometimes.
But look, while this is going on, it looks like we're going to war with Venezuela, which is insane to me. What are you doing, man? Unless there's got to be something more going on than drugs. I mean, thankfully we're talking drugs, but you know what he did today? He declared fentanyl, which is an evil, demonic drug that just like a pinhead can kill somebody, they say. It's declared fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction in executive order. Okay, so where have we heard the words weapon of mass destruction before, right before going into a war?
Yeah.
You know, and what he's saying, look, what he's saying makes sense. No bomb does what this is doing. 200 to 300,000 people die every year. Yeah. That is insane.
We know at least one person.
Yeah, we do.
That their life was taken because of this terrible thing.
Thank you for that super sticker.
Oh, thank you very much for that super sticker.
But yeah, I think this is a prerequisite for we're about to go to war.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I
don't want to go to war.
No, I don't want to go to war. We are stretched out over this globe.
Yeah.
Our forces. And
look, Kimberly's saying it. We think this too, Kimberly. Rumor has it that Russia is hiding stuff there. We don't doubt that. We don't doubt that Russia and China are having that. I didn't mean to rush.
No.
But
great point.
What I'm saying is, we've said this drugs is part of it, but that is not all that's there. There's something else going on that we
felt shaky and not bought into the narrative of what's going on according to them and why we're supposedly going to war.
Welcome, brother.
We've had a lot of questions.
We got Brother Tom in here first time on Monday nights as a subscriber. Come on in.
Wonderful.
Well, look, for all you that are new, let me tell you, on Monday nights, this is the moment you've been waiting for.
The Supernatural AI Update. Brought to you by Uncle Jimmy.
Uncle Jimmy!
All right.
It's the Supernatural AI Update. Woo! Yeah!
Thank God.
Yeah.
I was seriously thinking about leaving. I love y'all, but I just about was at my limit.
Yeah. Look, I'm running the show and I was almost at my limit.
God.
Well, tonight we're excited to bring in one of our great friends tonight,
Yes,
Mr. Gabe Paroy.
here.
You guys, if you don't follow Gabe, and he sometimes he jumps in the live chat here. This young man right here is a world changer, and you need to follow his channel. You can see it down below, Gabe Paroy. You can see how to spell it, and go follow him. He's already got 2.19 million subscribers. Wow! But he's so down to earth. He's preached at our church. He's hung out at our house. Him and his lovely wife, they just had their first baby.
Sweet couple.
And it's amazing. So he makes some great stuff. But he's going to remind us of some things that's going on in the world. And especially, let's see, at the time of this live, what is this today? The 15th. In 4 days, Atlas is coming back, right? He's coming back from around the sun. They say the 19th is when we're supposed to know if it's an alien or if it's a comet for sure, because he's coming back around the sun, making his entry back to be able to be visible in 4 days.
That's why December 19th is going viral right now. It's being Googled all across the planet. What does it have to do with 3i Atlas being the closest it's ever been to the Earth? Hanukkah, what happened in Australia, and the Epstein files? That's what we're going to be talking about here on this episode, because you need to understand the significance of this day, yet the truth behind all the storylines. If you haven't yet heard, interstellar comet 3i Atlas, which is something that we've been talking about for months now, has been put out on the mainstream media as an object in the space that they cannot describe. It has a tail that is formed at the opposite of where it should be, at its front center. Yeah. It is moving in a trajectory that can't quite be explained by natural phenomena. No, it seems to be something supernatural. Or is it something that they've created for us to be distracted by? See, that's the question. But is it an accident that on December 19th, it is going to be closest to the Earth that it's ever been? It's so close that we're finally going to be able to see details. Now, if you haven't yet heard about the tragic incident that occurred in Australia,
so I just felt like it would be good for him to come in here and just remind us that on the 19th.
Goodness.
Friday. Friday. So I wonder what old Avi Loeb was going to say. You know,
I've got to look him up when we get off the show. I got to see what he's saying. So if I take my
you should be able to see it.
outside.
I think you can see it.
Okay.
So y'all, I want to know in the live chat, in the comment section, what do you think about this third eye?
This third eye Atlas.
The third eye Atlas. And by the way, Atlas, the name Atlas in Greek mythology, what was he? He was
one of the heroes, I believe.
He's one of the Nephilim.
The Olympians. He was a son of Poseidon.
If LA was on here, LA would say
and his human
he was
wife,
Nephilim.
Cleito.
Yeah.
He was one. So Poseidon had 5 sets of twin boys. I believe he was the firstborn, if I'm not.
I don't remember. I had my friend do my homework.
He holds the world up on his
Is he
back,
the one that
shoulders.
has him on the back? Okay.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, Nephilim thought that's what they were. So we I detailed in my book about how the Greek gods, little g, were really just legendary manifestations and stories that were made up based on actual, real supernatural beings known as the Nephilim, the giants. Genesis chapter 6. But we're in the world of AI now. And so we're going to show you some rapid fire things on AI, which we cover every week. It's just escalating, and it's doing some good, but y'all, we know where it's going. It's the beast system. We know where it's going. Come on. We know where it's going. All right. So this is redacted here. And this title is called "The Pentagon Just Built a War AI." This should scare everyone.
No, absolutely not, Natalie. Sorry to say that.
Okay.
And I think it's worse than that. And what Hegseth was talking about here was a platform that go on military desktops around the world, just as we use ChatGPT or OpenAI or Claude or Gemini or whatever.
So to set this up, and I'll let it play, is the question was, it's being leaked out now that there is an AI being created that Hegseth is talking about that is a military grade AI. And what this guy is saying, and he's Captain Matthew Ha, is senior fellow at Eisenhower Media Network. He is saying that this will function for the military, and Hegseth wants to put it on every desktop at the Pentagon and in the general's offices. That this AI is being created specifically to run the military, and it may have elements from the others. It may be a part of Mission Genesis. All this, I'm sure it is all tied. But I just want to give you a setup of what he's talking about.
And I'm sure this has nothing to do with Palantir. And those guys over there at Palantir.
Palantir is heavily involved.
What is that crazy guy over there? Alex?
The guy that's got the crazy hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the owner, ain't he?
Secure version for the Pentagon and the military services that doesn't allow information to get out, essentially. Because we all know that AI takes as much information from us as it gives us, right? So the military needs something that would be sealed, that would only essentially be one way in, not one way out. The problem with that, to get to the point you were getting to, Natalie, is that who controls the AI? And this is the two main things I see this reliance on AI, or the future reliance on AI, going towards. And Hegseth said yesterday or the day before that, you spell the future of war with two letters, AI, are two things. One, a continuation of the outsourcing or privatization of war. So who ultimately owns these AI platforms, and then who informs them? And who gives them its algorithm and its programming and essentially its orders on how to answer questions? I've been coming across this more and more as I do my work, as I do my research. And I got into it with ChatGPT today regarding what are reliable and reputable news organizations. And you can imagine the response I got from ChatGPT about that.
Did smoke start coming out of the machine?
This is really important, right? That the answer it gave me was that it relies, at the end of the day, it defers. Its programming tells it to defer to institutional structures as opposed to historical accuracy.
Wow.
It just told on itself?
It told on itself.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we asked the question, and he asked the question, who controls this AI?
Yeah.
Let's not forget, back to old President Donald Trump. While we were getting ready to have the family over and you were just rushing around the house or maybe at the grocery store getting ready for Thanksgiving, he sits down on November 24th and signs an executive order called the Genesis Mission.
Oh, yes.
I did a show, by the way, you can go back and watch it, where I showed you the origins of the show Stranger Things.
Yes.
That it was based loosely, some people say not even loosely, on a thing called the Montauk Project, which was on Montauk Island at the end of Long Island in New York, what's now known as Camp Hero. Go back and watch that show. But in that, we talk about the days of Noah. We talk about the things that the government was doing even back then, what they're moving towards. Now they have it in place. And we talked about the Manhattan Project. We talked about the Apollo network, the Apollo program. And they are saying that this Genesis mission is on the same level of both of them combined. Yes. Well, one of the things that I talked about in that show about Stranger Things, how interesting it is that the Montauk experiment was ran by the Department of Energy.
Yes.
And in Stranger Things, the upside down and all the things that go in, and I'm not telling you to go watch the show if you don't want to watch it, is run by the Department of Energy.
Yep.
Well, lo and behold, on November 24th, the Genesis mission was launched, which is ran by, get ready for it, the Department of Energy. Look at the website address now. It has its own website, genesis.energy.gov. You don't even have to go to the White House and look at the executive order anymore. just go to genesis.energy.gov. And I know y'all can't see the website, but that's what it is. Genesis.energy.gov. So this is the Genesis mission on the Department of Energy's website, a national mission to accelerate science through artificial intelligence. It's a nationwide incentive to build the world's most powerful scientific platform to accelerate discovery science, strengthen national security, and drive energy innovation. It will develop an integrated platform that connects the world's best supercomputers, experimental facilities, AI systems, and unique databases across every major scientific domain to double the productivity and impact on every American research and innovation within a decade. So it begins to scroll. You can't really see it. I think I might need to change this setting here. This might help. No, it's not going to help. But you can see real dark. Google, Oracle, OpenAI. These are all the collaborators.
Yes.
And Anthropic, Palantir, all these are working with the energy department of the government to have a umbrella. And now we're talking about the military is going to have their own military grade AI that will only be available to them to run the military. And it's all going to be ran by the Department of Energy, which all we've heard about from the Department of Energy is climate change. And now the Department of Energy is not trying to save the world, they're trying to destroy the world through AI.
And let us mention once again, these are a lot of the same people that are helping the president build his brand new ballroom.
They are the funders. These people are the actual funders of the ballroom. What's going on at that ballroom?
And
What's going on underneath
being
it?
critical because nothing is going on here.
Nothing
to see.
Nothing.
Move along.
Nothing
Move
to see.
along.
Well, Time has now released their person of the year, and the driving force looks to replace humans. So Time magazine, if I can get it to work, says 2025 was the year when artificial intelligence full potential roared into view and when it became clear that there would be no turning back. So they literally made Time person of the year AI. They had two covers, one AI and the others.
The heavy hitters of AI.
All the ones that you were just talking about that's funding the glorious ballroom. You zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Just a little bit. You see all the, how much money's sitting on that rail? That's the person of the year.
Somebody contact Lloyd's of London and find out what the payout is on if that beam very high in the sky should fall.
Yeah. Y'all, we are in the end times, y'all.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't even have to imagine how the world could ever have the mark of the beast.
No.
What did Jesus say? You're going to be deceived.
Yes.
See that you're not deceived.
See that you're not deceived.
Because the days of Noah are coming. The days of Noah are coming. That's why I'm proud to be a part of the UFO convention with L.A. Marzulli. Why? Because every single person is not speaking from, aliens are coming. No, it's all trying to tell us what the narrative really is.
Yes.
We're being distracted from. These are the return to the days of Noah, which is what Jesus predicted.
And again, we talked about this last week, Age of Disclosure. The documentary film, if you've not seen it, spend the money
on Amazon. It's like, I got to rent it for almost $20. Just buy the thing for like $5 more. You own it because you're going to want to go back and get some research because you're about to see that thing roll out into real life.
Right.
We know in what LA and others like him over the years have been saying is the disclosure is coming, and the ultimate goal is about identity.
And listen, the opener of the documentary is about 34 different people, a lot of them politicians, government officials. Who else is in there saying it's real? It's real.
Generals.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, they're all saying it's real. They're all saying we're not alone. We're not alone. We're not alone. We're not alone.
That's how it opens. We're not alone. We're not alone.
But one of the things that I'm going to talk about in my presentation on the conference for L.A. Marzulli is the lack of addressing abductions. And why? Because that's very strategic, and why they don't talk about that. Because that leads into they're not benevolent. They're not loving. They're not here for our good. Whatever they are, they're not here for our good. You say, well, why you got Area 51 behind you and a UFO behind you? It's because that's what we're addressing. This is to get you thinking that we think one way, but then we tell you how we really think. We've been to Area 51. Y'all, we got ran out of Area 51.
We got receipts.
We got receipts, y'all.
Mhm.
You go back and watch the show.
Dead cows and all.
We had dead cows. Look, there's a show. You just got to find it. It's one of our older shows.
That's
How long
right.
ago was that?
January.
January. Go back around January and look in our January, and you'll see when we got ran out by Area 51. We went all the way up to the gate, started taking pictures, doing video for the show.
They were probably about to come out.
They were coming.
And they're coming to take me away. Ha ha. No,
The
they were
Camel Men
probably
were coming.
really about to come out and get us and take us in.
They
and
blew the horn.
question us because
They
they
hit the
told
lights.
us, listen, we went to the little alien.
Yes, we did.
We ate the alien burger.
Yes, we did.
It was okay. But they told us the important thing about this story is we asked specific questions
Yeah.
at the little alien. Okay, what is the sign that maybe we're getting a little bit too close? They're like, well, they'll sound the alarm and everything. No. But if they do it twice, if they hit the alarm twice, you're about to go to jail.
And they said they called them the camel guys, camel dudes.
Call them the camo dudes.
And they would come get you. They hit that second horn, and they didn't lay off that second horn until we
They
were
did
out
not.
of sight.
We skedaddled. And
And
that's
then
what,
we pulled off, and there were cattle mutilation.
that's when there was that dead blown
That
up
thing
cow.
was swelled up bigger than 5 of us put together, about to explode right in front of us.
Oh yeah.
Look, I digress. Go watch the video.
We did the mailbox on the side of the road.
Yes.
We did everything. We did it all.
We sent them a letter, and I put a letter in that mailbox, and they say the aliens come get it. And I said, "Dear Uncle Jimmy's family,
Watch the
y'all-
big picture
I
tonight.
I said, watch the big picture, and you all need Jesus. Get saved, because you ain't real, you're demons, and I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
That's right. And to show that we were not messing around, we just moseyed right on down the road to Tonopah and stayed in a haunted hotel.
And we rebuked the devil there too.
Booyah!
All right, so look, you're talking about the age of disclosure. Well, guess what? There's another movie that's coming out that's going to shift it to another level. That's
Oh, I'm
Steven
ready.
Spielberg's movie.
Let's go.
It's coming out about disclosure, and a lot of people forgot all about this movie. But the trailer is about to drop, and you know what they did? They went to Times Square, and this young lady is telling us what's coming. Look at the logo, the image that Steven Spielberg chose to use to promote his new UFO movie coming.
So here's what we know. Billboards appeared in Times Square and Los Angeles showing a bird, kind of like a blue jay, with what looks like a human eye reflected in the center.
Mm-hmm.
What an image to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And look on the side here. She's about to mention it. 6/12/26 is when it's coming out.
Okay.
All will be disclosed, is what he says. All will be disclosed. There's got to be
Can we just
there's got to be so much symbology
take a
in this.
TV timeout and press pause right here?
Okay. Go ahead, babe.
In your opinion, and I'm asking you and I'm asking everybody out here watching, those in chat who will take the time to respond. Are you noticing a shift?
Very much.
A shift from years and decades went by of y'all all crazy, there's nothing going on, to, well, there might be something going on, to, yep.
That.
Something's definitely going on. That's where we were
That's where
up
we
until
were.
recently.
Yeah.
The shift I'm talking about is disclosure's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone from foibling back and forth to, well, maybe to, yeah, probably so, to, no, not only yes, but get ready.
Get ready.
An announcement is coming. This is what I'm seeing and feeling and sensing, is that it's about to happen. It's about to drop. Can
Absolutely.
I ask you, are you feeling the same?
Me? You asking me? Absolutely, I'm feeling the same. I mean, y'all used to have to look for the eye. You'd say things, look, that looks like an eye. They're not even trying to hide that they're showing the all-seeing eye. They got to be some kind of deep, deep meaning into this bird and the glowing of this bird, because you don't do that. You don't use that as your way to introduce your movie to Times Square unless it's full of something that's about to be revealed. And
So are you leaning to Eye of Horus, Ra? I mean, what are
just the all-seeing eye, the all-seeing
The
eye that you see
all-seeing
everywhere.
eye.
That you got the eye. You know, people do this and okay, whatever how they do it.
Oh, yeah.
The moment I do it, people are like, "I knew it. He just did it. He's Illuminati." I don't even know how to do it, but I'm just saying, here's the eye. But all will be disclosed. So you got a movie documentary.
And the all will be disclosed is part of the movie advertisement.
Yes, exactly. Think about it.
Yeah.
Coming right on the heels of a documentary with actual people called The Age of Disclosure.
Yeah. Listen, if you were watching L.A. Marzulli on a regular basis, he's changed his tone.
Yeah, he has.
And he shifted.
Yeah.
He is all about, we're about to hear about this. Somebody in an official capacity is about to step to the microphone and say, ladies and gentlemen, da-da-da-da-da.
Well, let me remind you something about LA, and then we'll come back to this right here. In his book, and he covered when I had him on my show to talk about his book, Rungs of Disclosure, he talks about what shifted everything for him. And it seems, to some people this seems even silly, but it's not silly, is when he saw the commercial during the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Which was for the website.
Same feeling that I had. I'm like, am I seeing what I'm seeing?
And it was a website for it was a commercial for a website development called Squarespace or something like that. And the whole thing is about these aliens coming and they're trying to get us their attention, but nobody's paying attention because they're all on their phone.
We're so seeing squirrels. Where everybody's squirrel. Yeah. We can't even see the forest for the trees. We're so distracted and consumed by
go back and watch
so many things. They're basically the UFO is like right above them, and they can't even pause a moment to take note that that's there. Was that Martin Scorsese in the car
at the very end? And he gets the aliens say the only way we're going to reach these people is we've got to get it on their screen. So they got on their screens and said, "Look up." And he looks out of his limousine and he looks up and there's a mothership sitting on top of it. He goes, "Oh," and then that's the end. And he goes, and they made it funny and all this. And LA said, when I saw that, he said, I knew this was a comedy, a lighthearted way of saying it's coming. It's about to be flooded.
This was Super Bowl 2024?
I don't remember.
Wasn't
a couple of years ago. Might have been last year.
It was not. Sure. It's not this year. It was either 2023 or 2024. But yeah.
Let's go back to this. Let's watch this.
The tagline reads, "All will be disclosed," with the release date of June 12, 2026. Many are speculating the film is actually titled Disclosure, though Universal has not confirmed that. Originally,
I've heard that too. Can you imagine if he literally names it? That's what the rumor is. That it's literally going to be named Disclosure.
Okay. Again, pause. You guys start spouting off all the Steven Spielberg movies.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What else? Wait a
minute. I got to press pause on this.
Okay, you're pressing pause on my pause?
I'm pressing pause on your pause.
I paused first.
I'm pausing your pause.
No, what? No.
This is pausology. It's a new word. We just made a new word.
Now I got to write that down too.
Pausology.
Pausology.
So listen, in the middle of this pausology, and I'll go right back to you, I'll pause my pause on your pause, is this.
I can't believe you paused me.
The narrative, how many people in the world's idea of aliens was shaped by Steven Spielberg?
E.T., thank you. E.T. I'm writing this down.
2 different ones.
E.T., Close Encounters, what else?
So that's how we even think about aliens.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it is not surprising to me. I'm not saying he gets to do the disclosure, but let's just look at the history here.
Yeah, exactly.
Not straying too far from this is where he came in, okay? Yes, Jaws, yes, some other stuffs. He did the Schindler's List. He's got some big work out there. But what I'm trying to establish is let's look at the track record on this subject, on this topic. Hi, Delane.
Well, better late than never, brother. Come on in.
Disclosurism. We just keep getting stuff. Jurassic Park. Okay.
By the way, y'all love Delane's prophecy. V wasn't Steven Spielberg, but yes. I don't think, was it?
I don't know.
Maybe he did Z. I don't know.
Was he War of the Worlds?
He was War of the Worlds. Yep. Somebody just said War of the Worlds.
Grief.
Yep. Y'all, this is crazy. Look,
keep on coming.
Look, I'm gonna play this. Okay. Independence Day. Did he do it?
Was that definitely him?
I don't know, but that movie certainly was part of this.
Oh yeah, the movie.
All right, you just keep writing. I'm gonna go back to this because I want to let her finish.
Spielberg mentioned the movie was going to be called Dish, then changed to Disclosure, but we do not have a definitive answer as to what the title is. Now, the cast is stacked with a bunch of famous actors, along with David Koop, who wrote Jurassic Park and War of the Worlds for Spielberg. Now, some footage was shown at a private Universal event earlier this year when they dedicated a new screening room just for Spielberg. According to reports, the preview showed Emily Blunt being chased by menacing figures in unmarked black cars, and there was a dramatic collision with a speeding train, and then an underground control room that looked something kind of like NASA. Here's what a lot of people don't know. Dan Farah, the guy who just released the Age of Disclosure documentary in November, also produced Ready Player One with Spielberg.
What?
What?
I did not know that.
Truth bomb. Oh, bam.
Are you kidding me?
LA. Somebody call LA Marzulli. Okay.
These dudes know each other and they made Ready Player One together?
Okay.
What in the world did we just discover?
It's coming out tonight, people. Okay, Dan Farah and Steven Spielberg, Ready Player One.
This is crazy. I didn't watch this, y'all. I just saw the beginning of it. So I'm watching it live with you.
We should name this show tonight Disclosure.
Ooh. Yeah, I might go back and redo the thumbnail. Disclosure. The revelation of true disclosure or something. I don't know. Dude, let's finish. See what else she's got.
God.
This is amazing. Y'all, I did not know this. And by the way, if you have not seen Ready Player One, you want to talk about predictive programming. This is one of the most predictive program movies ever made. And Steven Spielberg made this. I forgot all about that he made this. I knew that, but I forgot that.
I did not know that. And we certainly didn't know about Dan Farah.
No,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Dan Farah goes from making Ready Player One to producing the documentary called The Age of Disclosure, and his friend is making an actual dramatic depiction of disclosure. And
what you're trying to say is someone on the level of Steven Spielberg wanted to make sure that Age of Disclosure got made. Oh, LA, we about to be burning your phone up.
I'm about to call my friend LA and I'm going to say, y'all.
Oh, yeah, that's about to happen.
Hey, I might need to just keep this secret and unveil it in the conference.
You can't keep a secret that long.
Can y'all just keep this between us?
You and Paul Begley cannot keep secrets. I'm going to tell y'all right now.
No, I can't.
Don't tell Larry Ragland or Paul Begley nothing.
Nothing.
Have drawn connections between the documentary rollout and Spielberg's film announcement. Both projects deal with the same themes. Both use the word disclosure. Wow. Now, whether there's an actual coordination or just parallel thinking, the timing overall has people talking about it. And then in 2023, Spielberg sat down with Stephen Colbert and spoke directly about the phenomenon. He said what has been coming up recently is fascinating. And he talked about the secrecy shrouded these sightings and the lack of transparency. He believes we're not alone in the universe and that mathematically it's impossible that we're the only intelligent species in the cosmos. He then floated a really wild theory. What if these objects are not from another planet millions of light years away? What if they're us, 500,000 years in the future, coming back to document the last 100 years of human history? He suggested they could be anthropologists studying a critical period. They know something that we don't understand just yet.
Y'all, that's the Watchers. Wow. By the way, everything he said is not true, but he's spinning the tale of exactly what LA is talking about on this whole Age of Disclosure. Is that our creators are coming back to us. Our people are coming back to us. Our tribe is coming back to us to tell us that they made us and we messed it all up.
Hey, see what you've got to look forward to?
I'm going to tell you what I got forward to look to.
You're just going to keep on evolving.
Jesus is coming, y'all.
What was the name of that Steven Spielberg movie?
Come on, get it out.
This coming out in June.
Oh, the one we're just talking about?
Yes.
They're saying they don't know the name yet, but the name that's being spun is Disclosure.
Okay. I guess I was referring to the caption on that.
It was saying all will be disclosed.
Yeah. All will be disclosed.
Yeah. So the first was calling it Dish. We're gonna call it Dish.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
Come on. But supposedly, y'all, if this movie comes out and it's called Disclosure, and now you know because of the big picture, we broke it right here. Found it. Maybe didn't break it to you, but I think it broke it to me. That
you broke it to yourself.
Broke it to myself.
And you paused me. And I had already made a pause.
I set the precedent.
I am not going to forget that.
Just calm down, man. We got to finish.
I'm not going to calm down.
We got to finish. All right, listen. So now we've got a movie that's going to be called Disclosure, coming on the tail of the age of Disclosure, and they're buddies, and they produce Ready Player One together.
God, please let me call Ella. I want to be
now look, Ross Cohart from News Nation, he's a believer of interplanetary. Okay, he's not a big interdimensional demon believer. But y'all, he breaks something here that's pretty interesting. Listen to this.
Codings. I am aware of certain names that have been mentioned over the years, but frankly, I don't know for sure. There is definitely, though, a control group.
So he's being interviewed, and the lady asked him, "Have you had contact with the group that is hiding this disclosure?" And he says, "Who was running this group?"
And one thing that fascinates me is Hal Puthoff made an admission that at one stage under the previous Bush presidency, he and a group of people were invited to take part in a decision-making process that involved senior levels of the White House as to whether or not there should be a disclosure. And apparently the decision was made not to disclose. I can't but help but get it very annoyed by that. Frankly, I think whatever the bad news is, if there is any, I think we've got a right to know it. And I don't know who the control group are these days, but I hope that they're reassessing and rethinking through what they tell the public. It is certainly getting to the point where, frankly, a decision needs to be made. Otherwise, we are looking at imminent catastrophic disclosure, which would not be healthy for a lot of people in America. If they want to negotiate themselves an amnesty and a position of strength, the best thing for them to do would be to basically out themselves, acknowledge their presence to the president, and get this over with. It's interesting, because you would think that Marco Rubio, as the acting national security advisor, would be read in. And I did say about a week ago when I was talking about this that I assumed that Marco Rubio had been read in. I actually had a phone call from somebody allegedly in the know, and they gave me a spanking for making such a strident assertion. They said, you can't assume that Marco Rubio has been read in.
Exactly.
That's how tightly this secret is held. There are people, I'm told, in the National Security Council, that's essentially the National Security Advisory Body for the executive branch, the president, who are briefed in and who are aware, but it's not clear to me that they've made the decision to yet brief Marco Rubio. I tell you, if I was Marco Rubio and while I was Secretary of State, I was given the ability to be briefed as acting national security advisor, it would be the first thing I would do. Similarly with Trump. We do know that Trump's been at least partially briefed into the reality of NHI, and that doesn't make him, though, a member of the control group. It's a really interesting situation. Frankly, there is, I'm pretty sure, a control group. And I don't know why this has been tolerated. Maybe there is some presidential order that was made decades ago, but there's been this ridiculous situation where it has not been by any means a certainty that a president or a national security advisor will necessarily be read in, briefed into the secret. Let's hope that that group shows itself. If anyone's got the list, I'm here, ready and willing.
All right, so just a few more seconds because you got to hear this next part.
Okay.
All right, just one quick follow-up question. What did you ask Dick Cheney?
I actually chickened out. I was...
So I didn't start the video in time, but here's what she's talking about. He said that someone told him that Dick Cheney, the former vice president for two administrations with George W., was the leader of the control group. And they said, if you want to talk to the leader of the control group, it's Dick Cheney. And he has a private phone that he uses to answer calls on this. Here's his number. So he used a phone, a burner phone or something, Russ Cohart, and he called Dick Cheney. He didn't believe it. And he said, I'm going to find out if it's really Dick Cheney. And he called it, and Dick Cheney answered the phone, and he hung up. And he got scared. So he's about to tell that story there that he got scared and hung up.
Did he say how long? Does he say how long ago this was? I mean, obviously we know Dick Cheney passed away recently, supposedly, according to the news.
Well, listen, just a few more seconds of this, and maybe he'll say that.
Panic, to be honest, Megan. I couldn't believe any. I don't know why I was, frankly, that we don't have the opportunity to confront him now, because I'm very sure that Dick Cheney is one of the people who was briefed in.
While he was vice president.
I would say to Ross Cohart, you better be glad you didn't reveal who you were to Dick Cheney. Or if he did find out who you were somehow, you better be thanking God that nothing happened to you. But what are we talking about, control group? Collins Elite? The Jasons? Who? What? And to your statement about, or his statement about why can't a president do something? The only big statement I can remember coming from an actual sitting president was beware of the military industrial complex.
It was Eisenhower, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Many, many years ago. No, the presidents are not read in because they are just passing through.
Exactly.
These people that hold the power, they're lifers.
They're lifers.
They're there.
Yeah. Yep.
They establish their power and their control and their authority, and who knows how long they stay there. They're many levels above the president as far as their knowledge.
Well, let's just change real quick because we got to get some more nominees. How about this? China has just unveiled its first ever 6-armed robot. Look, you know what this is? When I saw this, you know what I thought of? That's Doc Ock off of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's now real.
Yeah.
This is if it wasn't enough that you have a robot with 2 arms doing your job, now you have robots in China that are going to be put into industry, 30% more output because they'll pull something off this shelf while they're sorting this shelf, while they're putting something on another shelf down there, all at the same time. This is our world that we live in.
6 arms.
And then here's the last one I want to show you. I got a feeling this is going to be up there. And I don't even know if this is really freaky. This is weird. I don't know if I believe it, but scientists say they have recorded the moment that life begins. This is a actual recording of the sperm penetrating the egg and life beginning. They're saying this is how an egg is fertilized. They're saying this is not AI generated. It's saying MIT scientists have captured something that once thought impossible to see, the exact moment an egg is activated and life begins its first steps. Look at the design.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that instant, tiny wave patterns form on the surface of the cell like microscopic hurricanes. These waves travel across the egg, act as the organizing signal that guides every cell division that comes next. It's the biological starting gun of life.
Can you pause that?
I don't think so. What's even more striking is how universal this pattern is. The same kind of wave behavior shows up in ocean vortices, atmospheric systems, quantum fluids, and even brain activity.
Okay, right there. That is the Fibonacci sequence.
That's what they're talking about.
So did they say Fibonacci?
No, but that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's the Fibonacci sequence. That is the, what is it? Something, golden ratio, the golden ratio.
And they're saying that life begins
the flower petal unfolding. This is the nautilus. That's what that is.
Yeah. And that's what they're saying is life begins with that. And that's the reason everything in life is, because that's the design of God.
Man.
Look at that.
I believe that's
incredible.
Has to represent a burst of light as well. I believe.
Yeah. Well, you can see down at the bottom the light.
Yes. Yes.
Going into the
Man,
God created everything. It's all about God.
Yeah.
So if you're new to our channel, this is when we get all of our nominees for our Golden Chicken Award. And so what are the nominees?
Goodness, I'm going to need a minute here.
Come on.
It's been a show tonight. All right, we're going to call this.
Start with number one.
Number one, AI is person of the year.
Okay.
Number two, all will be disclosed. Steven Spielberg movie.
Big one.
Number three, Ross Coulthart, big interview. And number four, China's six-armed robot Dash Shiva.
1, 2, 3, or 4. Here we go.
Let's do
That's
this
right.
thing.
Shiva. That was Shiva.
You can thank the fine people watching the big picture for that observation. All right. Again, number one, AI is the person of the year. 2, all will be disclosed. Steven Spielberg. Number 3, Ross Coulthart's big interview. And number 4, China's six-armed robot Dash Shiva.
Which one you vote for?
I can't talk right now.
Okay.
I'm doing important work over here.
I know you know that your opinion would weigh them.
I am not trying to sway.
I'm seeing two.
I'm not trying to sway anyone.
Two's going away with it.
2 is taking it away tonight.
So the winner is.
Okay,
hold it up. Come on,
I've
get
got
ready.
a few 4s, but the winner is clearly number 2. All will be disclosed. Steven Spielberg. We will be waiting and watching for that movie come June.
I agree. That's freaky. And then we found out tonight, Ready Player One.
We about to call L.A. Marzulli.
We gonna call
Y'all just
LA.
need to know.
Yeah, y'all be looking for a show with L.A.
Yeah, that's happening.
We're gonna break that down. Okay.
Also, little cousin Comet wants to say goodbye.
Oh,
Don't he look cute?
his little coat. You got his little Christmas
Santa hat on.
Was that Christmas breeches or what is that?
That's a belt.
It's a belt. Okay, I thought he had breeches on. And by the way, if you're
That'd be
looking
the
around the
tiniest
world,
breeches that the world has ever seen. That was breeches.
the world is asking, "What are breeches?"
And their world is asking, what is breeches? What is wrong with your eyes? That is a belt.
Well, listen, we appreciate all the
I was
new
representing
people.
tonight too. With my
You
little
were
North
doing your
Pole
little
shirt
North Pole.
and my red earrings.
Look at you. And by the way, we had a lot of new people in here tonight. The big picture's growing
We
every
sure
week.
did.
If-
My goodness. Did we talk about last week's views?
Last week was amazing. We had over 10,000 views.
Thanks to you.
It's amazing. The week before that, y'all, we had 77,000 views. It was 2 weeks before that. 77,000 views.
Is that crazy?
That was crazy.
Oh, what?
That was the night LA was on there. So, but it's growing. We've gained a lot of subscribers, but we give God all the glory for that. And we especially say thank you to you because none of it's possible without you. And we call it our Big Picture family. And we love you guys. Don't forget New Year's Eve. We're going to be here live. We're going to bring the new year in.
Oh.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm serious. Get the snacks ready and keep the coffee coming. You're going to need it.
You're going to need it. And let me just tell you, you can go to our website starting tomorrow if you want to go to Israel with us. Register for the Prophecy Conference. Many of you have already told me. Many of you have already said that you're coming. You need to come to the Prophecy Conference March 27th, 28th, and 29th. That's on the events page of our website. Come to Birmingham and hang out with us. Paul Begley. We got Joseph Z. Help me out. I'm brain freeze.
Tony Merkel.
And then I'm brain freeze here.
Come on.
Alan DiDio. Bishop Alan DiDio.
I knew you could do it.
Yeah. You couldn't remember either. So you just trying to throw me under the bus.
No.
Hey, we ain't woke.
Anywho.
We love y'all, but we are certainly. Are you going to say it?
Nope.
We ain't woke.
We are certainly awake.
God bless y'all.
Help us build the Big Picture family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire Big Picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the Big Picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the Big Picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.